Once upon a time, King Vikramaditya was carrying Betal through the forest when the spirit began telling another tale. In a prosperous kingdom, there lived a beautiful and intelligent girl named Padmavati. She was loved by many, but three young men were especially drawn to her. All three were noble, handsome, and deeply in love with her. Padmavati, however, remained undecided about whom to marry. One day, tragedy struck. Padmavati suddenly fell ill and died. Her death devastated the entire city, especially the three suitors. But each man dealt with the loss in his own strange way. The first man, overcome with grief, could not bear to be apart from her. So he took her ashes and placed them in an urn, which he carried everywhere, treating it as if she was still alive. The second man, in his sorrow, renounced the world. He became an ascetic and wandered far into the forests, meditating and praying. While staying at a sage's hut, he found a magical book. This book described a ritual that could bring the dead back to life. Excited, he returned to the city and told the others about the ritual. The third man, who had studied ancient medicine and alchemy, volunteered to prepare the body again. He collected Padmavati's bones and remains from the urn, cleaned them, and helped set up the ritual. Together, the second man chanted the mantras from the book, while the third man used his skills to assist. Miraculously, Padmavati returned to life, as beautiful as ever. Now the question arose, who had the rightful claim to marry Padmavati? The first man claimed, "I loved her truly and carried her ashes for months. My devotion proves my love." The second said, "I found the way to bring her back. Without my discovery, she would have remained dead." The third argued, "I restored her body, performed the rituals, and helped revive her. Without my action, the book would have been useless." At this point, Betal paused and asked King Vikram, "Who among the three deserves to marry Padmavati? Answer, or your head will burst into pieces." King Vikram thought carefully and replied, "The third man deserves to marry her." Though all three loved her, it was the third who acted practically and effectively. The first man showed emotion, and the second gave knowledge. But it was the third who gave her life again through action. Betal laughed in approval and said, "Well answered, O king. But since you've spoken, I must fly back to the tree." And with that, he slipped from Vikram's shoulders and vanished once again. This story, like many in the Vikram Bethal cycle, presents a moral puzzle, where love, devotion, knowledge, and action all play a role. It challenges the listener to weigh emotions against deeds, ultimately valuing thoughtful action in the face of tragedy.